Yo, what is up? Peace and riches, blessings. Welcome to the Burnell Washburn podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, sending you all my love, all my good vibes, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Burnell Washburn, as you probably know by the name of this podcast. And I'm a hip-hop artist, a father, entrepreneur, a YouTuber, a mentor, and a podcaster, and like a human being and all sorts of cool stuff. So, I appreciate you investing a little bit of time to join me today in some good vibe spreading. The whole purpose of this podcast is to share ideas, tools, techniques, strategies, anything I can do to help you have a happier, healthier, more fulfilling quality of life. So, if you end up feeling like you got some value from this, share it. Share it with at least one person. You never know, texting them the link to this podcast might just be exactly what they need to hear. So, huge thank you to the Gratitude Gang, everyone that supports me on Patreon. I have this little tribe of homies and awesome people that are throwing, $5, $10, or $20 a month to support this cause. And I just want to say shout out to the Gratitude Gang. Thank you guys so much. It helps the good vibes go further. It helps us impact more people, and it helps me have a higher quality of life so I can keep doing stuff like this, and I can, not be worried about what I gotta do to make money and stuff, and I can do what fulfills my heart and soul and actually provide more value to, I think I'm genuinely providing more value to the world by doing my music and my podcast and my YouTube channel and all the things that I do than I would be if I was just working some job to get by. So thank you guys. It makes my life dope. It helps other people's life get doper. So check out patreon.com/BurnellWashburn if you're interested. Even like $5 or $10 a month just goes a long way, and it really lights my heart on fire, and it really it's like an energetic, energy exchange where I'm like, all right, these people are really feeling value from my content, so I'm going to make even better content, and I'm going to hold myself more accountable to, keep spreading the good vibes and keep helping people at the highest level possible. Speaking of holding myself accountable, I appreciate you guys being patient for there not being an episode last week. I wanted to do an episode, and life just kind of got busy. I've been playing hella shows. I've been traveling. I've been learning and growing and being a dad. And I chose some different priorities instead of recording a podcast last week when I was really excited to record a podcast, but there were so many opportunities to seize that I ended up, prioritizing other stuff. And I've had this weird story, not a weird story, but just like a story in my head that I have to be on the highest frequency possible in order to record a podcast. I got to do all this breath work and meditation and just get to the highest frequency possible so I can channel the right messages. And yes, it does help me. The better I'm doing with all my good habits, the better the podcast episodes are. But I'm also recreating a new story that I can record a dope podcast anytime, anywhere. Whether I have my daughter or I don't have my daughter, or whether I've am tired, or whether I'm energetic, or whether I'm really on a high vibe, or if I'm having an off day, it doesn't matter. Either way, that's gonna be my new stories. I can just record really powerful podcasts any place, anytime. So hopefully I'll adopt that new belief, install that code frequency into my being, and start making even more content. So. And like I said, I always do them when I'm inspired and when I'm feeling it, not because I feel like I have to have an episode every Tuesday. I'd like to have an episode every week, but I've said this before. It's putting this pressure on myself and trying to make things too hard ends up backfiring me. And if I have too much pressure on this self, then I'll eventually I'll be like, all right, fuck it, I'm not even doing a podcast anymore because this is stressing me out. So I don't want to get to that level, and I want to make sure I'm actually providing value on these episodes. So I have a whole list on my iPhone notes about all the different podcast episodes that I'm really inspired to talk about, that I'm going to go deep and do a little research for and really, plan out. But today I just wanted to come on here really quick because I'm about to go hiking again, because being in nature and being with homies is a big priority to me as well. And this podcast is a priority, so I'm fitting them both in. But today I just want to come in like really quick and just send out a message of good vibes to remind you that like life is not supposed to be a burden. Life is not supposed to be heavy. Life is not supposed to be like stressful and all. And yes, we grow from pain and suffering and all the hardships, and I talk about that all the time. But if life is feeling heavy, chances are we're just taking it too seriously, we're trying too hard, or we're overcomplicating things. So you want to ask yourself more empowering questions. Your subconscious mind cannot help but answer questions. Even if you consciously ignore the question, your subconscious mind will come up with I almost said like the subconscious monster will like answer that question and still be thinking about, like if I say, what do you do for a living? You might consciously ignore that, but somewhere like your mind is still thinking about, oh, okay, I work at such and such, and this is how I make my living. Like it's just impossible to it's impossible to like hear a question and not try to answer it. So you want to ask yourself really empowering questions that help your life feel more light and free and fun and joyful. And a good question that I like to ask myself a lot with all sorts of different scenarios is like, if this were easy, what would it look like? Or, if I were to make this easy on myself, what would it look like? Or how would I do this? Simple questions like that, your subconscious mind just like can't help but find like easier ways to achieve your goals and live your dreams and do the things that you want to do. Like, we put so much stress and pressure on ourselves, like unnecessarily. Like, there is pressure and stress that is necessary and like it's a beautiful part of life, but a lot of times we're adding this extra weight and this extra baggage that we don't really need to be carrying. Like, we can just chill out a little bit. Like, probably one of the biggest codes I'm trying to download right now is just like, it's okay to just be. Like, my life is not going to fall apart if I'm just chilling. Like, I think I have to be doing stuff all the time, and I constantly have to be productive, and I have these big dreams, and these dreams are going to slip away and fall through the cracks if I don't just like get all this stuff done every day. And like, it's so silly. Like, I just need to rewrite this story and just be like, you know what? My life is going to be magical and fun and awesome regardless, and I can chill and relax whenever I want, and I don't have to try that hard. And, it's like, that's such a more empowering belief. So, whole universe is happening inside of us based on our belief systems, and we're creating these beliefs that don't serve us all the time. And we're holding on to old beliefs that maybe used to serve us that don't anymore. So that's why meditation is so powerful. Like, people think meditation is like, oh, I'm just going to get zenned out. But the word meditation is like to become familiar with. So you're becoming familiar with your beliefs in your mind. And then it's really easy to rewire beliefs once you become aware of them and how silly they are and how they're not serving you. And so it's really hard to rewire your belief systems and these limiting beliefs and negative things that hold us all back if you're not even consciously aware of these belief systems. And most of these beliefs are happening on a subconscious level. So things like meditation and just self-work and self-discovery help us become more aware of these beliefs that are dictating our whole lives. These internal cybernetic mechanisms that are keeping our thermostat and our comfort zone at a certain level, and we're not even realizing it because it's just the program that we've been running. Take some time out in nature, take some time to be with yourself, start meditating, start, diving deeper and deeper into self-discovery, and you'll become more consciously aware of these beliefs and these patterns that are, these programs that are running your life. And you're like, oh shit, okay, I don't really like that one. I can pull that one out. I can rewire this one, and we can go ahead and reinstall this one. I just wrote a lyric the other day that said something about like, your software is outdated, and you gotta uninstall this outdated software and like download the latest version. Like, if you're still running Instagram from 2011, like, it's probably not even gonna work on your phone, but you're still running the old Instagram version, like, it doesn't have Instagram stories on it. That was before they had stories, so you have no way to create a story or watch people's stories if you have like the old version. Update the version, now you have these new features available. You can create stories and watch people's stories and shit. Or go live or whatever new features they've added, you know. Whereas if you're running the old software, it's not possible. So we're stepping into a time on the planet where like manifesting dreams at lightning speed is now possible. It's always been possible, but the whole planet's vibration is raising, and more people are being aware that they can consciously create their reality, and they're able to create their dreams, you know, faster and faster. Less time delay because we're deleting old paradigms, and we're updating software. It's like the software is running faster now, and we're able to like, oh shit, like we don't have to go through as much struggle and hardship. Life doesn't have to be so heavy. I don't, you know, like these old paradigms that I'm trying to rewire are like, I thought I had to be ultra, I don't know, like I just had to do all these things for a long time, and like in order to be successful in order to deserve any type of success, I'm going to have to struggle for a really long time. Cuz then people will respect me. Like if I get anything easy, no one will respect me, and then I won't feel loved, and if I don't feel loved, ultimately I'll die. Which is, you know, it sounds extreme, but that's literally how our brain works on a subconscious level. It's programmed for survival, and if we evolved with tribes, and if the tribe didn't love us and accept us, then they might banish us from the tribe, and we would have lesser chance of survival on our own, and ultimately we're all just scared of death. You know what I mean? Like almost all our irrational behavior comes down to like a fear of death. So we think, you know, like it's like I wasn't aware that I was running this belief for like 20-something years until more recently, and now I'm rewiring it, and it's awesome. And my life is getting doper and doper. But I was running the belief for years that I got to struggle and go through lots of hardship for a long period of time in order to attain any type of success, or to even deserve any type of, you know, in order to deserve a good life. Like everyone's gonna basically hate me, and I'm gonna die if I have a good life without struggling for it. Because I heard like nonstop growing up, and I still hear it. All my friends talk shit on anyone that got anything handed to them, or they, you know, and no one really gets anything handed to them. Like you see the kid, the trust fund baby has his own problems, you know, like the person that got gifted everything, and, you know, their parents were really successful and able to help them out a lot. They still have their own issues and things within their, you know, so you can't be judging anyone. And even if like their life was just super easy and they did just get handed a lot, like who the fuck are you to judge them and tell them that's wrong? Like, shouldn't you just be happy for them if you love all human beings? If you love all life? Shouldn't you just be stoked? Like, damn, this person has it made and their life is easy. Like, rather than being jealous and mad, like, that's awesome. Fuck yeah. Good for them, you know? Rather than like the old paradigm of just being, oh, look at that asshole, gets everything handed to them, or like, oh, they just inherited all that money, or, you know, and there's so many people judging people that have wealth, or judging anyone that has any level of success, but that's like the biggest blocker from you ever getting it. You know, you gotta be happy for people. You see anyone that's achieving anything similar to what you want, get stoked for them. You see anyone that's living their dream, even if it's not what you want, get stoked for them. Like, I don't give a fuck about having a Ferrari. Like, I would never buy a Ferrari. But I see someone with a Ferrari, I'm genuinely hyped for them. I really don't give a shit about cars. Like, I'd rather have enough money to just Uber everywhere, or like, you know, I don't know, like I'd give me like a cool bicycle because I'm like moving my body or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, just not something I value. But if that's something you value, then like, fuck yeah, I'll get stoked for you. I see you pull up in your Lambo, I'll be like, son, like, look at that, crushing the game. Just because I don't personally care about a Lambo doesn't mean I'm going to judge you and look down on you for it, you know? But so much of the old paradigm is like that, and that's why many of us have these belief systems that, you know, prevent us from being successful, because we're literally scared that we're going to die or we're not going to get loved if we're successful. So our subconscious keeps us poor, it keeps us struggling, because everyone can relate to that. If I get online right now and talk about, yo, my life is so fun and easy and everything just happens for me like so easily, I literally don't even have to try, and I just have it made, and everyone just helps me out, and my life is so blessed. People, like, there'd be people who'd be like, oh, good for you, asshole. Like, I work a job, I have to struggle, I do this and that. And it's like, I wish the whole world could just be happy for me and but even then I gotta live beyond that paradigm and not give a fuck what anyone thinks and just be happy for myself. And if I want to adopt that new belief, which I am adopting, it's I'll just own it and be proud of it and not care that some people might judge me for it. If I come out and talk about how easy and fun and amazing my life is and how I just get to do what I love all day, every day, there's going to be people jealous of that and whatever. That's their problem. That's their loss. So I just got to be proud to own my truth and, not be worried that there's, I'm going to lose love or I'm going to ultimately die if my life is fun and easy. So, it's 111 right now. But I've spent so many years living out this paradigm of struggle and hardship, and everyone can relate to me when I'm struggling. And if I'm going through hard times and life is just kicking me in the ass, it's so easy to have conversations with everyone. Everyone can relate to pain and struggle, so it's so easy for me to walk into any room and be like, I swear to God, all my old friends that I used to hang out with, our conversations were so silly. It was we were bragging about how hard our lives were. Oh yeah, you went through this. Oh yeah, well one time I did fucking such and that really sucked, and I had to fucking do this and that. And, oh yeah, man. Yeah, one time that shit happened to me too, and it was fucking, but it was even worse because I had fucking both. And it's all our conversations are about how our struggles, and and it did bond us and bring connection because we're we're going through a lot of the same shit, and we've dealt with the same problems, and we know what it's like to, I don't know, we know what it's like to have your heart broken, or to be evicted, or to be poor, or to have an injury or a health issue or whatever. Everyone can relate to that shit, so it's kind of easy to build connection on that. But what about building connection on joy and abundance and blessings and one thing that I got a random little download to share with you guys it's an exercise I want all of you to do is make a habit and just start small, like we always talk about. Start small to win big. Make a habit out of the next 3 times you meet up with friends or family. The very first thing that you need to talk about is something positive that happened, or something positive that's going to happen, or something positive in the world. And if you can't find anything, YouTube random acts of kindness, or look up positive news online, and you're guaranteed to find something awesome that happened somewhere, or something awesome that someone else did, or something that you could be happy and grateful about. And just make that the very first thing you talk about. It's so easy to be going through our struggles, because we all go through our shit, and then we immediately want to vent that out. The first thing we want to talk about when we meet up with our homies or our family is today's been the worst day, blah blah blah, this happened and this happened, or man, what's up, how you been? Fucking dealing with this yesterday, my blah 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 happened and now I gotta deal with that. It's you'll still have a chance to vent about that, and that's important to release those. You're not gonna bottle them up and just pretend everything's sunshine and rainbows all the time, because it's not. And it's not all good, but it's okay that it's not all good. But just make it a habit out of the first conversation, because it sets the tone for the whole vibe. And you just make a conscious effort to start talking about positive things right when you see people. First of all, you're going to be magnetic as fuck, and everyone's going to want to hang out with you. Because you're going to be like, damn, every time I kick it with Burnell, he makes me feel good, or he just gets stoked. As soon as I walk in the door, he's just going off on all this awesome shit. Ooh, it's 114 right now. 114 was my mom's B-day, so that's a blessing number for me. But yeah, people will just love being around you, and you'll find yourself having way better conversations. And words don't just describe your reality, they create your reality. That's the cardinal rule of NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. I've been getting certified as a NLP practitioner over the last few years, and just diving deep into that. And I observe human beings, I observe their language, and I notice every single person I've ever met, their life reflects their language. Their life and their language is just it reflects their belief system and their emotions and their, the loop that they have themselves in. So I just noticed that everyone that talks abundantly about money and finances and this and that, and they have this abundant frequency, they always seem to have money. And then all my friends that are poor and struggling with money, they're always talking about how stressful money is, or how they're talking shit on other people that have money, or they're trying to justify I don't even like material stuff, and I don't give a fuck about that. I'm fine being poor. Like, I don't need money to be happy. And yeah, you don't, but like, we're on a physical plane, and you're just playing yourself if you don't think you need a certain amount of money to like have a decent life on this planet. So, and money's not like a negative thing. I've talked about this a lot. It's neutral. It can be used for good or bad. And no matter what type of system of energy exchange that we'll use, if you want to get rid of money, we'll find something else that's neutral to exchange, and that will have the ability to be used for good or bad too. So, getting mad at money is just silly. But I just noticed everyone's language is like really controlling their entire reality. Their whole entire existence and experience on life is like, and they don't realize it, but they're just keeping themselves in a loop. So remember that. Your language does not describe your reality, it shapes your reality. I know I've said it a million times, but I'm going to say it again. Language does not just describe your reality, it shapes your reality. NLP. Start looking it up. Start, diving deep into your own language and catching how you talk. Catch how, because your language will start to give you clues to your belief system. You're like, oh, damn, if I just said that means I would have to believe this. Do I actually believe that? No, not really. That's just like some weird paradigm that I've been living in because, my family believed that, or, other society believed that. Is that actually true in my spirit? No, that's actually not. Okay, what can we do to rewire that belief system? All right, let's install the new codes and stay consistent with these new codes long enough. When I say install new codes, I mean habits, I mean affirmations, I mean ways of being, and subconscious reprogramming, all the things that we talk about on this podcast. These are all like codes that we're installing, but you got to stay consistent with them. You have to stay... You already know what to do to make your life better. You're just probably not staying consistent with it. You're doing it for a little while, and then you're falling off, and then you just gotta stay consistent long enough to get results. And in order to stay consistent with something, you have to have a huge compelling vision and a huge reason why. So dive deep into your personal self-discovery to figure out why you're actually doing things or why you actually want certain things. There were certain things I used to think I wanted, but I dived deep into why I really wanted them, and I'm like, actually, I don't really want that. What I really want is love and connection, and I don't have to get that thing in order to get the love and connection that I desire. So, dive deep into why you want stuff. I have a good, pretty, I don't know, it's easy for me to stay consistent with my good habits because I have such a beautiful vision of my future self. Oh my God. I'm chasing that dude every day. I'm not going to let that motherfucker slip out of my grasp because the life is so dope. Like, I already love my life so much, and my vision of, like, my lifestyle 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 50 years from now is so extraordinarily amazing. And I just, like, I can't bring myself to, like, let a day or two go by without, like, trying as hard as I can to be, not trying as hard as I can, but like just doing the work to align to that vision of myself because it's so beautiful. I don't want to like know that could have been possible, but I was just lazy and I didn't do it, or I just chose my old programming and old paradigm because it was easier to stay in my comfort zone. Like, and that's how you stay consistent. If you're really, really compelled on your vision and you really have an exciting future, then it's easy to stay consistent. So if you're having trouble with your good habits, like you've been trying to work out, or you've been trying to eat healthy, you've been trying to meditate, you've been trying to cold shower, whatever habits that you're struggling building, it's probably because you don't have a big enough reason of why you're doing it. It's pretty easy for me to eat healthy and work out because I have like such a strong reason why, and I've associated massive pain with not doing it, and I've associated massive pleasure with doing it. Humans will do more to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure most of the time. That's just how we're wired. So like you literally, like if you're struggling to work out, like you might have to just associate more pain with like how is it going to feel in 10 years if your health is even worse than it is now and you haven't improved yourself? How are you going to fucking feel about yourself? Not good. how are you going to feel if you just let your health slip and 10 years from now, your child has to watch you fucking suffer and die like I had to watch my mom because she didn't take care of her health? You know what I mean? It sucks, but like you got to use the dark side for good sometimes and like develop some massive pain with not, you know what I mean? Like I wish to God, and I don't have any regrets. Everything always happens for a reason, but like if I could give some advice to my younger self, which is going to be a future episode that I do, it would be to like associate more pain with not saving money. I didn't realize when I was 16, 17, 18 that like my 20s were going to be way more of a struggle because I was not building that habit. I thought, I'll build that habit later. I didn't like it. I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to have a lot of money, but saved up, but I didn't have a lot of pain with like, oh, what is life going to be like if I don't? Like, how bad is it going to suck when I fucking, have a injury or a health issue come up and I literally don't have any way to heal myself and fix it because I don't have any money and I don't have insurance and shit like that. Like, I wish I would have fucking felt that pain younger and like put a plan into action of like what it was going to be like. So now I'm trying to like increase my association with pain on certain things. Like like the health thing, I have massive pain associated with that. Like, I do not want my daughter to see me suffering. I don't want her to have to like take care of me because I didn't value my health. And then I don't want to like miss out on all these beautiful adventures. I don't want to miss out on snowboarding and hiking and camping and running and laughing and swimming and jumping into the ocean and like all the fun things that you can do when you're healthy. I don't want to miss out on any of that shit. This planet's so beautiful and I get this one chance that I know of in this beautiful physical body that I'll probably never get to experience again. Who knows? Maybe I'll reincarnate millions of billions of times. I don't fucking know. So while I'm here, I want to literally like make the most and use this body to the fullest. And I had just like the thought of like missing out on things that I love, like not being able to hike or not being able to go out into nature because I was just dumb and like did some drugs and alcohol and didn't take care of myself and ate shitty food. Like that sounds terrible to me. So it's easy for me to stay consistent with eating healthy and working out. And I have massive pleasure with all those things associated. Like, oh man, like if, when I'm 50 years old, I want to be able to bike up a mountain. When I'm 70 years old, I want to be jumping off my yacht into the fucking ocean on the coast of Italy with a six-pack abs and glowing skin. Like, because why the fuck not? There's plenty of people doing that. Why they're not like any better or greater than me. Like, it's 1, 2, 3 right now. I can do it too. And like, I just want to have the highest quality of life possible. So I'm going to do, whatever it takes to stay consistent. But really, it doesn't have to be heavy and stressful to stay consistent. That's kind of one of the main themes of this episode is like tap into the frequency of lightness in your body and just breathe and relax and feel how light your spirit is and let go of anything that's not serving you and let go of any baggage that you're holding on to and any resentments. And resentments weigh a ton. Judgments, goddamn, they will crush you. They're so heavy. The more we judge others, the more we resent things, the more regret and pain and things and trauma that we're holding on to from the past, the heavier our life is going to feel. The more we connect to the moment and just accept what is, rather than trying to change everything, just the first step is just accepting it and appreciating where you're at. Being like, you know what? This is where I'm at currently, but I accept it fully. This is what it is, and that's okay. This is where I'm at on my journey right now. That's totally fine. Look at yourself in the mirror and just fully accept and love your body for how it is. And then, when you're in that state of acceptance, you start to feel lighter, and you start to you start to raise your vibration, and then you can actually change it, and then you can actually go create an even more ideal body. But you're not going to create an ideal body by being having this negative relationship and negative self-image. You're going to create that ideal body by first falling in love with yourself and falling in love with your body as is and falling in love with like just this is where I'm at on the journey and I have the ability to work towards a brighter future and I'm going to do everything I possibly can right now with what I have. And the universe never expects anything more from you. Like it never gives you anything that you can't handle. And it never expects you to like do something that's impossible. You know what I mean? The universe like is very kind and loving and fair, and it's like it'll more than meet you halfway if you just do what you can with what you have. So first love yourself for where you're at, accept where you are on this journey, and then take that first step forward, and the universe will just all of a sudden, meet you halfway, rather than like when you're caught up in a victim mentality of your limitations. Universe just keeps giving you more limitations, and you just keep seeing. And it's not like the universe is being like a dick or being nice or whatever. It's just like neutral, but you're gonna experience more of whatever you're focusing on. So you're experiencing more limitations and lack and things to worry about if you're focusing on that, versus if you're focusing on what's in your power. What do you have the ability to do something right now? You step out of the victimhood and you step into your power, and the universe will always meet you more than halfway and like bless you super hard. So that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I'm glad I thought my homie was gonna roll in like 10 minutes into the episode, and I was like, fuck, I wanted to like really say some shit today. But I also told my homie I'd go hiking with him. I gotta respect his schedule too. So I'm like glad that I got 31 minutes in with y'all. I hope you got a ton of value from this. I feel like I said some dope shit, and all the stuff I share is like really advice that I'm learning and integrating and sharing with myself. They say we always like teach the things that we need the most. So if anything, I'm getting a lot of value from this podcast, just from talking about it. It helps get my thoughts out and solidify my ideals and stuff. And I think, actually, I know it's been helping a lot of people, because you guys message me like every fucking day telling me that it's helping you. And I got people like paying every month to be on the gratitude gang and be part of the Patreon support. So like I know this is helping you. And all I ask is that you just share it with someone, or you check out the Patreon page, or you do one little action per episode to help spread the good vibes and just, pull a little weight in the tribe to like, because we're all in this together. It's not just like me, Burnell, Washburn has a podcast and I'm going to be the only one to like reap the benefits from it. It's like, no, I'm just like a voice within this beautiful community, and we all got to keep helping each other rise. So if you can help, one of your homies check this out, or share it with a family member, or anything, like it's an act of self-care, it's an act of self-love, and it's an investment in your personal growth every time you listen to this. So I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll be back with some more YouTube. I got a couple YouTube videos ready to upload, so make sure you check out my YouTube channel. Hit me up on IG at Burnell Washburn. All the links are in the description / I guess they call it show notes on the podcast. So all the links are in the show notes. I have some really dope new music coming out. I have a lot of dope shows. I've been playing all these festivals and stuff lately. I'm playing this one called Incandescence this weekend. It's going to be super dope. And then on July 17th, if you're in SLC, I'm performing with Lyrics Born. If you're listening to this beyond summer 2019, then you can disregard this part. But I'd love to see you guys come out to shows, especially if you're a podcast listener. It makes me so happy when podcast listeners come out to my shows. And like, as soon as someone tells me they listen to my podcast, it's like, oh shit, now we can have like a real conversation. And then we're not just talking about like, oh yeah, it's been pretty hot lately. Yeah, like some bullshit. Like Mac Lethal has a line. He's like, people only discuss the weather when they full of small talk and can't spit something better. And it's true. Every time I catch myself talking about the weather, I'm like, unless the weather's super crazy, but it's like, oh man, I don't have anything fucking deeper to talk about right now. Like, come on. So when the podcast listeners, when you guys, when your beautiful self comes to my shows, I love it. I have more fun at my own events because I'm like, oh shit, these people get me. I can be myself. They've already heard me be completely authentic, and they know what kind of vibe I'm on, so we can have some dope conversations, and we end up really uplifting each other, and I come home 100 times more fulfilled. So it's not just about coming and seeing me rap. It's like, let's hang out together, and it's a chance for us to connect in person. And it's like, I'm raising my daughter, during the week. During the weekend, I'm out spending time in nature. I'm recording podcasts and videos, and I'm working out, and I'm meditating like hours a day. And I'm doing all these things by myself a lot. So, or just with my daughter. So my shows are like really a chance for me to connect with you guys. That's when I'm like I'm putting on my like extroverted self, and I'm like, let's go out and party and be the life of the party, and let's connect with people. And I'm usually feeling ready to be more outgoing and social and stuff during my show. So if you want to come connect with me, hang out with me, give me a hug, and just like be the homie in real life, come out to my shows. Hit me up online and follow me on IG, and you'll see me constantly promoting upcoming shows and stuff. So, and I think I got a new album coming pretty soon. I've been writing some really dope songs lately, so I'm not trying to set a specific album release date yet, but that is coming. So shout out to everyone that's been listening on Spotify and Apple Music and all that shit. The streams have been going like way up lately, so I think it's maybe because I've been making doper shit and the brand's been growing, and I don't know, and you guys are spreading the word or something, but I genuinely appreciate it. So thank you for listening. Thanks for investing this time with me today. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. I hope you remember how beautiful and how powerful you are. I hope you remember to go start your next conversation on a positive note. Just the second you see someone, immediately start talking about something good that's happening or going to happen, and then you can vent your stuff later. So there's so many beautiful ways to raise our vibration and continue on this ascension path. We just gotta honor and love ourselves for where we're at and keep doing the best we can with what we have. Peace and blessings. I love you. I'll see you on the next episode.